Hey there. I just wanted to do this quick A to Z characteristics for successful and fulfilling lives. So I've got for success and fulfillment. And this can go in any direction of your life. And this is just where yesterday I was at an event for my business that many of you watching right now are part of as well. And it came very clear to me, it became very clear to me that there are things, characteristics that help us become more successful and more fulfilled in our business, but also in our life of living it. So I've tried to put together a really quick list that I'm going to share with you. So here's my title page, and I have, oh my goodness, a cat. Yes, a cat. No, you can get out. I don't need you in here right now. Of course, this is the challenge of having a door that doesn't quite close. Yes, a door that doesn't quite close, so I either have kids or cats or husbands walking in. Anyway, A. All right, attitude is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of the letter A. Attitude makes all the difference. You know, in our life, we can easily put blame on other people, other situations, other circumstances that are affecting us. But when it comes right down to it, our attitude is everything. And if we don't have an attitude that is contagious, that is attractive to others, chances are we are going to feel defeat quite often and feel pretty low. So our attitude is simple to change, but we have to be aware of what we are doing, and we have to make a mindful decision to change it. Another one is authentic. People are looking for real, and yourself, you are looking for real. I know myself when I was trying to fit in, trying to belong, trying to be part of something in such a way. I mean, through my teenage years, through high school, that was probably the worst of it. But even as an adult, trying to fit in and become someone I wasn't was not fulfilling my life. It was not making me feel successful. Even though some would look at me and think that I was successful, inside I wasn't aligning with myself and I wasn't being authentic. So that was definitely something that when I recognized what I wasn't doing, that word of authentic really came up. The other one is active. And there's a lot of other A's that I'm sure you can appreciate, but here's my list right now. And active can be as simple as being active in your thought processes, so always learning, always thinking, and also being mindful of the quiet times too, allowing yourself to be active in your own space, right? There's that time of we can almost be overactive in everything, saying yes to everything, doing everything. But I do see the other side of that as being active in your own space. And sometimes that means moving your body freely with yoga, with something very gentle, but it can be also very invigorating to be very active. You know, many of you are runners, many of you are athletes working out all the time, and that's fantastic. But for some of us, even for me, with some of my health concerns in the past year, the things that I need to do to be active are much different than what somebody who has very healthy adrenals and healthy thyroid and everything else can do. So for me, being active is different than another person who's being active, but it's okay. I am going to own where I'm at. And yes, I have a cat trying to get in again. Put something in front of the door. B, beliefs. What are your beliefs telling you? Because the biggest thing right now is that you are believing what you choose to believe about yourself, about the world, about reality, about situations, about your finances, your health, your goals, your dreams, everything. So you really have to become aware of your beliefs. What are your beliefs telling you? Are they disempowering beliefs, or are they empowering you to make great choices and changes in your life? So beliefs are everything. C, I've got quite a few C's. Compassionate to yourself, as well as being compassionate to others. We don't always understand what another person is going through, and people don't always understand what we're going through. But to have compassion for that person is such a gift for not only you, but the other people that you are surrounded by. Curious, always be curious. I think that one of the things that I learned a little while ago was that not everyone has a passion that they're following. Not everyone feels they have a purpose in life, but they have curiosities. And following those curiosities is huge. It really helps you feel fulfilled and happy. And sometimes a curious thing that you go towards and you're really curious about it for a while becomes something that you're really not that interested in anymore. But if you didn't go there and become more curious and learn more about it, you would never know that it wasn't your thing. And then there are times where you're really curious and you go off in this direction and you start learning about that and sharing about it and experiencing more about it. And you realize that, wow, this is really my passion in life. This is my purpose. So be curious. Commitment. Commitment is huge. Commitment to yourself, commitment to your dreams and goals, commitment to your future with your family, commitment to your business if you have a business, or your career if you love your career. Commitment is huge, because if we don't have commitment, we just kind of allow all kinds of things to cloud our vision and to, like that marble jar, you know, we hear about, and maybe you haven't heard about this, I wish I had one to show you, but being committed to yourself and your goals is important. So you want to put those things in your jar first, like the big rocks. Those are the big rocks, the non-negotiables, the things that really are important to you, that you're committed to doing. So it might be your fitness every day, meditation, family time, date night, whatever things that you're committed to go in the jar first. Then you start putting in the pebbles, the things that you might be saying yes to sometimes, but not always. Those things fit in around those rocks. And then the sand goes in after. So the sand might be things like TV. If you enjoy watching some TV or getting together with certain groups of people, those things come in at the end. Unless those things are really important to you, then you put those in as your rocks, the non-negotiables. So being committed to those rocks are really important. But if we don't put the rocks in first and we don't schedule the time in for those things we're committed to, they easily get forgotten. Much like exercise, for example. For me, for years, I wasn't committed to my exercise, my fitness, and I didn't put time in for it. So, of course, what's the thing that you keep forgetting about are the things that you didn't schedule in or make a priority. So commitment's huge. Creative. I'm just going to say one really quick thing. Being creative and allowing your creativity to come out. We all have it at some capacity. It could be through music, it could be through dancing, it could be through drawing, coloring, painting, writing, speaking. It could be so many different things. But are you allowing yourself to get those creative juices flowing? And if you aren't, that might be something that you start putting in as your commitment level. Because honestly, the more creative that we are, I believe, and this is just my belief, the more fun we have. And fun is important. Consistent, again, that kind of goes hand in hand with the commitment thing. Consistency is huge. It is like, you know, if you want to achieve something, you don't just do it once and then hope that it happens. You need to do it time and time and time and time again for it to actually continue to snowball, right? And what's easy to do is also very easy not to do. And that's something that I learned through reading Jeff Olson's book, The Slight Edge. And again, like with your fitness, for example, if you're starting out and you really want to be flexible and you try to be flexible for a week by doing some stretches and you find that you're just so frustrated that you can't do those stretches, you're still so in pain and you just decide to quit, then the consistency has been lost. But the more consistent that you are with that, chances are over time, you're going to become more flexible. And that's just an example. D. Decision, drive, and desire. We all have a decision to make. And sometimes it comes down to how important is this to me? And what am I deciding to do about it? Have I made a decision to go all in to my fitness, my business, my relationships, etc.? It starts with a decision always. If we don't make a decision, nothing will change. And that's the truth. And so many times I think that many of us just say we kind of want to do something to change, or we kind of want to do this or try that. And when we're doing that, we're actually not deciding. We're just kind of throwing a few ideas out there and we're not focused on that decision. So start with a decision. Drive. People can't do anything for us. We must do it for ourselves. So drive and desire are important, because without the drive and without the desire, it's really just one of those things, again, that we're kind of throwing spaghetti to the wall hoping that it sticks. And that, again, could be with your fitness, with your relationships, your finances, your family, whatever you're doing. You can't have somebody do it for you. You must take responsibility and do it for yourself. All right, every day is for E. When you are committed to doing something and you have the desire to change or grow or learn, whatever it is, it must be every day. Now, does that mean that you're doing it all day, every day? No, it means that you are actually working on it in small steps every single day. So if that's fitness, if that's meditation, your business, your relationships, again, you can't just drip on it and water it once in a while. You've got to water it every day to let it grow. So that really does come from that whole idea of every day in every way, right? We do it every day. And it's not that hard to do if we do it in small steps. Enough. E is all about being enough. And I think that so many times, especially as adults, we are so hard on ourselves when we maybe didn't do what we were hoping to do that day, and we beat ourselves up. And what I want to tell you is to practice the whole idea of being enough and telling yourself that I am enough. We try to do the best we can with what we have every single day. And every day throws curveballs. There's always something that comes up in our life, whether it be with our children, our spouse, our coworkers, our health, our car, our finances, whatever it is, things get thrown at us all the time. So we need to be aware that we are enough because we are doing the best that we can all the time. F. Gosh, this is longer than I thought. F, fun. Have fun. Life is about having fun. Life is about excitement and being like all in, you know, and realizing that you are worthy of having fun. Life is not meant to be boring and dull. It's about having fun. I'm planning to have some fun after this with my kids today because it's a beautiful day outside. So we're going to go and have some fun. And my husband's leaving today to go hunting. He's going to have a lot of fun with the guys. Focus. When you have something of importance that's in front of you, you must find time to focus on that one thing. We are so good at multitasking, especially parents. And I'm not just saying parents of kids, parents of animals, parents in general. You have parents. You know what it's like to multitask. What about taking time to focus? And it could be a 15-minute focus session on that one thing to get it done. I know when I actually take time and I focus and I'm mindful of it, I get so much accomplished. It makes me so excited because I think, wow, I have the ability and the capability to get it done because I've shown myself that if I focus, I can do it. And it's so rewarding. Of course, family. Family focus is huge. I love my family. Even before I had kids, family was so important to me. Still is. And my family is always expanding, which I love. And, you know, finding time to spend quality time with family is, again, a real great way to feel successful and fulfilled at the same time. Because success isn't always about how much money you're earning. It's about how much time that you're creating memories and making time to be with the people you care about the most. So, and I know many of us are so busy with careers and businesses that our family sometimes becomes the small sand or the pebbles that go into the jar. That is what, in my opinion, needs to go in as the hard, bigger rocks in the jar first, so that we don't forget about our family. G, generous and gratitude. And I'm not actually showing you these, but generous and gratitude. I believe in order to feel fulfilled, the more generous that I can be and the more grateful that I can be, the more fulfilled and successful I feel. When I give to somebody, I feel so much in return. And it doesn't mean a handheld gift. It doesn't mean spending money. Sometimes it is for me, but it is giving something to someone without expecting anything in return. But what tends to happen is that I become so fulfilled because it feels good to give. And being grateful for where I am, even when I'm struggling, the gratitude that I get along the journey of knowing that I am doing my best every single day, even during the times that I feel defeated. Being grateful for everything, even the things that drive us crazy. Be grateful for that stuff because it's helping us grow and learn. And that's one of my other ones. And actually, generous, gratitude, growth, that's another G word. Again, I could literally write down so many words for each letter, and I'm sure as I'm going through, you're thinking of some yourself. H, happy. There's a quote on my daughter's wall, my 9-year-old daughter, and it says, happy girls are the prettiest. And I just love that one so much because you can probably put yourself in a situation of when you had somebody who was extremely rude, not very nice to be around. Maybe they were blaming all the time. Maybe they were complaining all the time. Maybe they were always sad, always down, always blah. And you probably felt that energy and you thought, oh my gosh, how can I get out of this situation with this person? Happy people are just fun to be around. And I'm not saying that we're going to be happy 24/7 because that's just not reality. But the more we can be grateful, even like I said in that last one, be grateful for the times, even when you're feeling down, sad, discouraged, upset, angry, frustrated, whatever those negative emotions are coming up, when we can be grateful for them, oftentimes we find happiness in them because we see that there are lessons there and we're learning and growing with every single negative thing as well as everything that's positive. So being happy is a huge thing. Healthy. Healthy goes way beyond healthy body, healthy mind, healthy soul, healthy habits, healthy relationships, healthy finances, healthy everything. And I think that if things are not feeling healthy right now, it is time to switch that, to change that. And I know myself, I just went through a year of crazy, a year of crazy. I didn't feel very healthy in any of those areas. My body, my mind, my soul, my finances, my relationships, they were not healthy. And it made for a really tough year. But I knew that it was up to me, not up to anyone else. I couldn't put blame anywhere else. It was up to me to change it. So if things aren't feeling very healthy right now, there is a chance for you to change that as long as you make those decisions and take those steps like we've done in A through H so far. I, inspired and an individual. And I've actually put self-inspired here because you can go to all the events, you can hear all kinds of recordings, you can go to a website that has inspirational quotes, you can listen to things that are inspirational, but it really comes down to what are you doing for yourself to be inspired for yourself? Again, looking external for inspiration is okay, but it doesn't run deep within you. It will only go so far. We really must find those areas in our life where we can inspire ourselves. And clearly, I'm not a doctor. I'm not someone who can tell you what you need to do or what you should do. But if things aren't feeling right or feeling aligned or feeling like you're even doing okay inside, then that is up to you to go and seek the help that you need. And for me, when I was feeling that way last year, like honestly, I went through a time where I was so angry with the world. I was wanting to put myself into a little ball in the corner and never talk to anyone. I was frustrated. I was raging. I was somebody who didn't even know myself in the mirror. I knew something was terribly wrong, and I knew it was up to me to go figure that out and find out. So I called a friend who I trusted. She helped me to see that there was something going on in my body that I needed to get fixed. So that was when I took the steps that I required to go and seek medical attention. And it was a huge difference. And here I am a year later. Things are still getting better, but I'm not nearly where I was a year ago. So it's up to us to inspire ourselves to change. And we are all individuals. And I love that one, I for individual, because we're not a copy of anyone else. Even if you're a twin or a triplet or, you've got multiple siblings that are born the same day as you, you are still an individual and you still matter. You are important. And we don't want to lose our individuality ever to try to fit in or belong. Be you, be yourself. J for joyful. Of course, that's an easy one. Joyful, again, happiness. What are you doing to create joy in your life? Are you always feeling like you're just wishing for the weekend to be joyful? Or are you living every day joyfully? And I'm not saying every day all the time, because of course we've got reality that happens, but where are you finding the joy in your life? Where are you finding the little things to be grateful for? And sometimes we don't even see those because we're so clouded with everything else. Kind, for K. That one's simple. We all know how to be kind. And I think that the more we can be kind, the more we will really help other people be kind as well. We're like a mirror, right? And we only see in others what we are in ourselves. And when we are kind, we help show other people how easy it is to be kind, even if they're not kind people. So one of the things that I've learned along the way is when people aren't very kind to me, the last thing that I should ever do is be unkind back. I'll just be kind back to them. And in that case, it's just, you know what, that's now their decision whether or not they're going to continue to be unkind. So it's like a standard. One of the things I'm learning through Growth U, which I love that program, I'm a little behind in it right now, like everything else, but being an example is not about being an example to others all the time. It's about being that example for ourselves and holding that standard, right? If we want to have a high standard for our relationships, even if our relationships aren't high at this point, we must set that standard high and not play the games that other people might be playing, even if it's not mindful. They might not be playing it on purpose. L, learning, lifelong learner. That one's easy. Always begin or think from a beginner's mindset. It really is quite incredible when you go into a situation, even though you feel like you might be an expert or you might be a guru in that subject, the more you can think from a learner's perspective and a beginner's mindset, the more you could learn. And when we think of ourselves as an expert in something, chances are we are so closed to any new information, and that new information could change our life. So always being a learner, you know, and some of us have degrees and things, and we think, oh, we know it all. And probably the last or the worst thing we could ever say is, I already know that. I already know that, because what you're doing is you're telling your mind to just shut down and not even think about any other options. So being a learner is huge. Leading. Every single day, whether you think of yourself as a leader or not, you are leading other people. So be mindful of that, because are you leading in a way that is positive, or are you leading in a way that is not very positive? And as parents, we're leading all the time. We teach our children how to be, not based on what we say, but what we do. So that is a really important one. And not just with your kids, but with your coworkers, with your friends, with your family members, with your spouse. You're always leading based on your example, even when you least expect that anyone is watching. A listener. I always feel like the more we listen, and here I am talking so much and you're listening, I would rather listen to you right now, but the more we listen, the more we can learn. The more we listen, the more we learn about people, the more we connect on that heart level, the more we can actually be compassionate to someone else. So be more of a listener than a talker, and you'll be amazed with what you do learn and how much more fulfilled and grateful and successful you feel. Motivated. Again, that kind of goes with that whole idea of being self-inspired. Motivated does not come from outside you. It comes from within you. I can't motivate you and you can't motivate me. It's a beautiful thing. Motivation comes from within, and we all must have it if we want to move forward. Meaningful. I also love this one because I think and I believe that in order to feel fulfilled and happy and successful in life, things we do must be meaningful to us. If we're being told what to do and there's no meaning to it, it's going to feel really horrible, and we're probably going to be resentful that person told us to do that thing. And that's how sometimes I feel psychologically unemployable. I don't have a job right now. I do have a business. I'm the CEO of my own business, as many of you know. And I personally felt icky when I'd be told what to do and how to do it. Even in my teaching career, there were times when, you know, I had a bit of a bully teacher that was beside me in one of my classes, and she would come to me and say, you know, I love that you're teaching kids about how to believe in themselves and how to be confident, but where does that fit into the curriculum? And honestly, that's how she talked to me. Where does that fit into the curriculum? And I'd be like, well, let me get back to you on that. And I'd look through and I'd find a curriculum expectation that it fit. But it was always like, really, you're telling me that I can't do this, even though I know it's benefiting the kids? And it became this area of, if it's not meaningful, why are we doing it? Why are we doing it? So being told what to do doesn't work for me, and it might not work for you either. It has to feel meaningful for you to feel successful and fulfilled. And normal and never quit. We are all normal. I want to say that again. We are all normal. We go through sadness. We go through anger. We go through defeat. We go through areas of wanting to give up on something. Could be giving up on our business, on our career, on our marriage, on our, horribly enough, people want to give up on their life. And again, if that's you, please go seek help immediately, because that is not normal. Okay. We don't want to ever get into that place of feeling that way, right? Life is important. Life is valuable. Life is beautiful. So if you're feeling that way, there is a reason for it. And it's not necessarily something that will be avoided if you go and seek help. So please go seek help for that. And I'm certainly not here to be like a psychologist or a doctor or anything, because I'm not one of those. But I am here to just be a person to say that it's normal to have moments of defeat and self-doubt and self-worth issues, and areas in your life that you feel less confident and you feel, you know, all those things that bring us down. It's normal. It's also normal to feel amazing, worthy, grateful, happy, joyful, all the things that we've been talking about. It's normal to go through those times and to be up and down, up and down, up and down, right? I should be doing it this way probably. I'm not sure how this video is going to work, but life is like that. It is normal, right? It is very, very normal. So be okay with the fact that you're normal, because you are, even though you're still unique, and that's one of them. And never quit. Never quit on something that's important to you, even when it feels like you're defeated and you want to give up. Never quit. Oh, optimistic and open. Obviously, we know that living an optimistic life is very important, because the more optimistic we can be in every situation, even when it's really not a good time, the more optimistic we can be, the more joyful, the more success and fulfillment we can bring into our life and invite in, right? It's like that, is your glass half empty or half full? It's, you know, having that higher standard again of yourself to be optimistic. And being open, again, is like that lifelong learner thing. The more we think we know, the less we actually know. The more we think we know, the less we learn. The more we think we know, the more closed we are. So let's be more open and willing to learn, because when we get different perspectives from different people, that's when we can actually feel like, wow, I didn't realize that, or I never thought of that before. And here I am, I'm a professional this or a professional that, and I didn't even think of that. So be open. P, persistent, which we talked about consistency, kind of the same thing. Passionate, again, if you're not passionate about any one thing, be curious, because you might find your passion. But being passionate is also about being passionate in your life, in your relationships, in your career. And if you're not, change something about it so that you can be passionate about it. Purposeful, again, it has to have a purpose, right? I feel like I've done that already. What did I do? Meaningful and purposeful, same kind of thing. Again, you want to have a purpose for it. Q, questions. Always be asking questions, because then you're learning. And quality, having great quality conversations, great quality food, great quality workouts, quality. Adding quality and getting quality is important, right? R, responsibility, 100% responsibility for your actions, for where you are today, for where you're going tomorrow, and for what you're doing. When we are not responsible, we put blame on other people. We complain, we justify, we judge, and we are critical, right? So the more we can be 100% responsible for where we are right now, the more we have the ability to change that. Because if we keep putting blame on other people, we're not willing to change ourselves. We're just hoping that person changes. That is not the way that life works. When we take 100% responsibility, we now are in control of how we got here and how we're going to get out of here if we don't want to be where we are. S, support. Don't be afraid to ask for support, and also don't be afraid to give support. Support is really important for us to feel really great about ourselves and fulfilled, and it also helps others to feel the same way. Share and be a student. So again, in our life, the more we share, the more we feel like we can add value, and when we're a student, we're always learning. T, teamwork. Everything in your life is a team. It's a team sport. Of course, everything that I talked about as far as inspiration and motivation for yourself and making decisions and taking the actions and all those things, yes, that is for you to do. But the more we can be part of a team, the more we can do it together, right? And that goes with family, with friends, with your business, with your colleagues at work, with your children, everything. The more we can be a team and not just doing it all by ourselves, the more we can actually feel, again, successful and fulfilled because we're sharing the work. Trust. Again, with that one, I like to say trust yourself first, for sure, because usually you already know the answer instead of looking externally all the time for the answers. And also trust the process. If you're going through something right now that feels really hard and really challenging, trust that you're here for a reason and it can get better. But if we don't trust the process, we often throw in the towel and we give up. So trusting the process and trusting yourself is really important. Transparent. Again, the more we can be transparent with ourselves and with others, the more we're willing to actually grow and own where we are today. Because when we own even the challenges and the things that bring us down, that's where we actually have the ability to change. And when I was going through my challenges last year, some people were really uncomfortable that I was making it so public. And I did a full blog, of going through my challenges with my adrenal failure and some of my thyroid issues. And I remember at the time thinking, you know what, that book by Brene Brown called The Gifts of Imperfection helped me realize that it is okay to be transparent even when times are down and times are gray. And it wasn't my way of complaining about people or about anything else. It was actually taking ownership and responsibility for myself, but being transparent through it to show to people that I'm not perfect and I'm not trying to get perfection. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be. Not better than anyone else, but the best that I can be. And when I felt down and out, it was okay to share that too. And truth, again, same thing. Being truthful always with yourself and with others is just a given. We're almost done, guys, obviously. Understanding for you, being understanding with yourself and others. Unity, again, really coming together as a unit, and being unique. Allow your unique abilities and talents to come out and shine through. It's really important to do that. Sorry, I don't know why this scan stuff thingy just came up, but hopefully you don't see that. V, value. We're always adding value to ourselves and others. And again, through all those things of the alphabet so far that we've talked about, that is all part of it. And vulnerable. Much like transparency, being vulnerable is okay. When you're vulnerable, you become a real person. You're not robotic. You're not some superhuman. You are vulnerable. You are real. You go through challenges. You go through successes. And it's okay to share without, again, being the pity party story, but to share with people that you're human, right? That's where people connect with you on a heart level. They connect with your vulnerability because they have probably felt that or have gone through what you're going through. So it's really important to be okay with that. And so many people are afraid of that because they think they're then going to become someone less than or not worthy of or a failure. And in reality, when people are actually vulnerable, I tend to, and this is just my personal thing, I tend to feel more connected to that person because now I'm like, wow, now I see the realness in that person and they're not as perfect as they've shown me that they have been all these years. And now I feel like I'm more worthy because, wow, I can totally relate to that person right now. That's how it feels. W, willingness. A willingness to get uncomfortable, a willingness to learn, a willingness to grow, a willingness to become the person you're meant to become, all those things. And worthy. We are all worthy. You are worthy. You are always worthy. But do you believe that you are? Remember back on the B, belief? What beliefs are you telling yourself about worthiness? I hope that you change that if it's not very good. X, of course, I couldn't think of any words that start with X, but extraordinary. What can you do today that is a little bit outside that ordinary, right? Ordinary. How can you be extraordinary today? How can you do a little bit more? How can you become a little bit more? How can you learn a little bit more? It's just a little extra on the ordinary, right? Extraordinary is just doing that little bit more. Y, yourself. Be yourself. That's all anyone wants. Don't become someone you're not. And some of these are a bit of a repeat, but hey. And we are at Z. And I chose zestful. And zestful, I'm just going to look at this definition here. It's really quickly and easily a spirited enjoyment. So think of it as being light on your feet and just being, you know, we hear about the spirited child. Become that spirited child again. You've got it inside you. You've got that child inside you. So become more spirited. Become more joyful. Enjoy life. Walk lighter. Run lighter. Play. You know, do all those things that are a little less stressed and a little less serious. You know, have more fun. And Zippy, I chose this one because I used to be called Zippy. My maiden name is Zimmerman. And one of my teachers in high school, one of my phys ed teachers actually, she called me Zippy all the time. And today was the first day I actually looked at it as a word in the dictionary. And the definition, again, is very similar to zestful. Lively action, bouncing, peppy, and spirited. So hey, I had a good nickname at the time. Zippy is being, again, lighthearted, bouncing, spirited, peppy, joyful, light on your feet, all those same things. So with that, you guys, I just want to say that it is up to you to decide, to make the changes, to make the choice that you are willing to become more successful and more fulfilled in your life. And again, that doesn't mean successful as in money. That means feeling successful in your life, in every area of your life. Because if you are successful in one area of your life, but the rest feels like horrible, garbage, disgusting, awful, that you're actually embarrassed to even talk about the other areas, but you're really successful in one thing, then chances are you don't feel fulfilled in your whole life. You feel disconnected at some level. So the more we can bring all of these and more, I mean, like I said, I could have put so many more words in the alphabet, but if you can put all of those things into your life, even during the times that feel down and out and defeated, the more fulfilled and successful you're going to be in your whole life, in every area. And I'm just beginning to really, truly feel that way. I mean, I've had times in my life where I felt really amazing and really joyful and grateful, but I didn't always feel very fulfilled. You know, I might have been making a decent income as a teacher at one point, but I didn't have the whole package at the time. I still felt very defeated and very unworthy. And there were a lot of things going on, you know. So to feel fulfilled and successful is a big job. It takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of mindfulness and awareness around our thoughts and our processes and our habits. And I'm coming up with all these other words that I haven't even talked about, but I really look forward to hearing if this has helped you. And I know myself, when I woke up this morning, I was like, I have to do this alphabet, because I just truly believe that this can change how people are being in their life, just by the simple list of words, right? And it's having that awareness around it. So as you can see behind me here, I'm just gonna up my life is change, growth is optional, choose wisely. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to chatting again soon. And next time, I hope I can ask you questions rather than me just saying what's on my mind. But this Google Hangout, I was by myself, so I have no interaction at all. But if you have anything to share, please definitely write to me or send me a message and let me know what your thoughts are about this. Anyway, have a great day. Bye for now.